Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. We're a day away from Cowboys versus 49ers on CBS at 4:30. It's just weird, it's very weird, like, going back and, like, looking at this matchup because it's been years since the Cowboys and 49ers played each other in the playoffs, and, the old school rivalry is once again rekindled, and it's awesome to see, for someone that's my age that hadn't had a chance to watch the Cowboys and 49ers go at it in the playoffs in the 90s and even the 70s and 80s. It's a good sight to see, and it's on a network where those rivalries, permeated. And so, so for me, I really do love this matchup because of the old school nature to it, but also what both teams bring to the table. So before we get started, if you guys could do me a solid favor and like the video, doesn't take too long to do and helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you're new to the channel to receive more content like this, but most importantly, hit that notification bell. There are people telling me that they have not been getting my content, and that's why I stress the importance of hitting that notification bell. By doing that, you will get alerted when I post new content, like a video like this, or if I go live, so you make sure you can tune in. But make sure you do that. Now, when it comes to this matchup, the Cowboys are favored by 3 points, and deservedly so. They're at home. They have a roster that is very good. Don't let the media try to tell you otherwise. There are people in the media, and I've already covered this, where people are taking the 49ers ad nauseum, which you honestly should just favor the 49ers at this point, if it were me. But I don't think the line has moved at all from that 3-point stance. But let's go ahead and let's go over some of the injury news. Now, the Cowboys appear to be getting back to full strength. Jaron Kearse, like I talked about, was supposed to be returning on Thursday from the vid list, and he is back, and the hamstring kind of sort of bothering him, but not really. He's been practicing, though. On top of that, there's something going on with Tyron Smith. He was limited in the practices the other day, but and this has to deal with the ankle. But from what I understand, he is going to play, and he doesn't have any issues. This ankle's more so a precautionary thing. Nashawn Wright was out due to the birth of his daughter, so congratulations to him, but it wasn't anything crazy. And then finally, we got to get to the 49ers. So the 49ers saw Trent Williams return to practice. Elijah Mitchell they're both back, I should say, at this point. And then a lot of their other guys that were on the injury list are practicing, like their punters. There's some guys that were resting. Now, again, there hasn't been any information on if these guys are going to play, but I'm going to assume, yes, they will play. It's a playoff game. You kind of have to, and especially your punter. You need your punter to So, that is a key thing, but those are a couple things to keep an eye on. Will be Trent Williams. Odds are he's playing. Their punter, and most importantly, a bunch of their other guys. But for the most part, it looks like San Francisco is going into this game with everybody at hand. Same thing with Dallas. So this is going to be a really fun matchup. Now, what are ways that the Cowboys can win this game? Well, going into this game, the 49ers really, really like to run the football, and I don't think there's any question. Their formula for winning games is making sure Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't throw the ball a whole lot and just run the ball and, try to stay in the game that way. You look back at that Rams game, and the Rams game was the epitome of what the 49ers like to do. Now, I understand that the matchup skewed because the 49ers have not lost to the Rams in like almost 2-3 years now. But when you think about it, they stick to their game plan, but what's key here is that if you stop them, then it makes it harder for them to win the game, because if you're trying to keep the ball out of Jimmy Garoppolo's hands, it's one thing. But they do have a secret weapon, and that is Deebo Samuel. Everybody knows who he is at this point. Now, look, Deebo Samuel is great, and I think that he is someone that I am worried about more so than that run game, because he has such position flexibility that he can play wide receiver, play running back, do all these things, and that's what worries me, is that when the Cowboys go up against these unconventional type of weapons, they tend to struggle. But I think that it really depends on what the 49ers try to do here. If you're San Francisco, you just have to get up on the Cowboys early and just play keep away and limit their offensive possessions, because if Dallas gets on the 49ers early, they're probably going to win this football game. And I have gone on the record saying if Dallas scores first, specifically if they score a touchdown first, they'll win the game. But if you are the Cowboys, I am looking at this as a pass the ball at will type of game. Yes, you want to be able to run the football, but the 49ers secondary traditionally had this year, I should say, not traditionally. Their secondary hasn't been the best at guarding the pass. They're like 16th or something, especially in the cover 2, cover 3 type of situations where, look, if you're Dallas, when it comes to how Dak Prescott and how the Cowboys operate, they tend to struggle versus man coverage, I've noticed. But I could be wrong there, but that's what I have seen through the numbers and stuff like that. But when they go up against like teams that play a lot of cover 3 and 2 and like zone, they tend to do very well. Dak Prescott does very well against these zone types of defenses. But if you're the 49ers, you got to play man. You have to play man, and you kind of have to go into this with the assumption that Dallas, you can't let them explosive plays. But if you're the Cowboys, I want them to try and establish the pass. This is going to be a big Dak Prescott game for me, and that's because you need him to exploit these weaknesses of the 49ers. Don't try to play their game and run the football if it's especially not working. But if it is working, you gotta go with what's working. But I think that's what you're gonna probably see is the Cowboys pass the ball a whole lot, and if things go their way, they should be able to do so. And their offense has been humming a little bit better with Cedric Wilson at the slot, and I expect that to continue. Now, do I expect the Cowboys to put up like 50 points? No, I expect them to put up at least 20. I think it's going to be like a low-scoring game, like a 24-20 type of affair, or 28-24, or 30-23, something of that window. As for the situation at hand of what Dallas has to get done and what are the stakes here? Well, for me, this is the biggest challenge for the Cowboys this season because they're going up against a team that can run the football very well. Dallas's run defense has been stout since the Saints game, and then you go to a team, like the 49ers, and you see how they've been running the football, and their offensive line has been playing very well. And I'm going to see, how do Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons all react to this matchup. And I think that it's going to be one hell of a matchup, that's to say the least. But look, the Dallas Cowboys currently sit at a crossroads because, look, let me actually say this first. There's a lot of people in the media taking the 49ers, and that's where it's like, oh, it's an upset. It's like, but if everyone's saying it's an upset, then you might as well favor the 49ers in the matchup. That's the problem that I have, is when people look at the game and they're like, okay, like, if I hear everyone talking about how the 49ers are going to win a game and the Cowboys are going to lose, wouldn't you favor the 49ers? But, Vegas says differently. But no, I think that the Cowboys will be fine this season. I think that, or this game, they've been fine this season. The Cowboys have won 12 games for a reason, and you kind of see that they've been able to do it both ways, offensively and defensively. More specifically, I want them to be able to do it defensively, because if their offense is at a top 16 or higher level, and that defense is in the top 10, they're probably going to win these games. So for the Cowboys, I'm looking for them to establish the pass, and just keep attacking the 49ers. Get up on them as early as you can and run the clock and get this thing over with. Now, again, don't take this matchup for granted. It isn't going to be easy. None of these games are going to be easy. But, look, if the Cowboys lose this game, it'll be disappointing. But at the end of the day, if you can play against a team that can run the football well and play good defense, you could probably beat any of these teams. So I really like the matchup versus the 49ers because it battles the Cowboys, see if they're ready for everything. And then if they win this game, then I have a lot more confidence going into the next matchup, depending on who they play, whether it be at home or if they go on the road to play Tampa Bay. So we'll find out where the Cowboys will, if they advance, we'll know where they're going to go after Philadelphia and the 49ers play. So with all that being said, once again, what is my game prediction? I have the Cowboys advancing against the 49ers by a final score of 27-23. I think that the Cowboys go into the fourth quarter like 24, or excuse me, like 27 to 17 or something like that. The 49ers score a last second touchdown or something of that caliber, and that's that. But the Cowboys not lost to the 49ers since 2014, I believe. They're eight, and there's a history going behind this. They're 8-4 all time. Well, all time since the last Super Bowl they've won. That's what I mean. They're 5-2 against them in the playoffs. They're 2-0 at home. The Cowboys historically since 2000 have won their first playoff game when they have played and won their final game of the season, and they've clinched the playoff spot. So there is an indication that tells me that the Cowboys should win this game. But another thing is that if your game plan is to keep the ball out of your quarterback's hands, that's a recipe for disaster, and that means you're not going to go far because you need to trust your quarterback. And I would say the same thing for the Cowboys if Dak Prescott was playing on a Jimmy Garoppolo type of level. But he isn't. So I would go with the Cowboys. They got the better quarterback. In terms of the team, they're pretty well matched, and we'll just see what happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little preview type of video. If you could do me once again a solid and like the video, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell, that'd be great. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.